Hi you all, welcome to my channel. It's Timbadz, and today I will be talking to you guys about my job experience in Canada. Sit back, do not go nowhere. I have some juicy stories to talk about. Do not go nowhere, do not go nowhere. Finding a job was so hard, and I remember like I was going to all these places to have my resume fixed, and they always keep telling me something, this needs to be done, your name has to be bolded and be in capital letter, like the first letter has to be capital letter, so that way when you submit your resume you will get called. But this was difficult. I'm telling you guys, this was really hard. It is really hard. But anyway, I remembered I needed this job because I wanted to buy things that I like I also wanted to help myself for transportation wise. I wanted to help myself transportation wise to school because I had to kind of help the family. So it was really hard landing the job. It was very hard. So I remembered one of the jobs I got was this warehouse job, and with this job so with the with that job, I really liked it because it was kind of easy. All you just had to do was remove like objects from, you had to remove objects from a box and then put them on the display table because it was supposed to be for a trade show, so it was quite easy. But the problem with that job was it was just for a limited amount of time, and because it was for a limited amount of time, it's not a long-term position, and that was kind of difficult because sometimes you want a job that's a long-term so that way you can kind of have some money in your account. So but I really liked the job. Another problem with that job also was it was just for a few weeks because of the trade show, and after that you get, there's no more jobs, so you go home. But I really liked the job, and I remember then I would call like the agencies. So basically agencies are the people that would find you jobs around, like around the city. And I remembered I would call the agency like I still want to go back, but because there were so many people that wanted to go there because the job was kind of easy and the pay was also really good. When you call the agency, they're like, oh, they have a good number of people, so therefore there's no spot for you to go there today. So that was kind of like, difficult because I really liked the job, and it was kind of helping me with some of my bills. Like if I wanted to like do my hair, I could kind of take some money to do my hair, and at the same time was also helping my parents too, because I could use this money for transportation fare or use it to buy things I like. And let me mention to you, I love food. And because I love food, I need to be able to have some kind of money or allowance so that way I can, buy the food I like. But anyway, to cut the long story short, the job was just for temporary, short term, and the job ended. And then I landed the job. I kept on applying at fast food restaurants and retail stores, and I would get interviews, but I would not get hired. Sometimes they're asking for customer service skills, but I have no customer service skills because I was not working elsewhere. And sometimes they're asking for Canadian experience. I don't have Canadian experience, like and just like I'm just turning 16 or so, but I don't have no work history to kind of put down on my resume to forward to these employers or to the agencies. But at the end of the day, I would write like, I'm still in school, I got this scholarship, I got this award when I was in elementary school or high school. I would write that on my resume. But let's go on. So and then I landed a job at this factory place. Oh my god, this job it's one of the, it was not so hard of a job, but I'm pretty sure when you work here for too long, oh my god, there's no way you will not have no health issue. there's no way you will not have health problems. Like, this job is basically you break like iPads or TV screens or printers. You kind of break them, the machine breaks them apart, and you have to separate like the plastics and the other stuff into separate areas. And it was not so bad, but the problem with that job was you were inhaling some nasty stuff, and the sound that comes from the machine that breaks apart all these objects could nearly deaf you. Like, you could go deaf. And like they do provide like ear plugs for you to put on, but I am telling you guys, like, that stuff was not working. I don't even know how people work there for so long. Many people would just work there for a bit and just like, you know, go somewhere else. And I remember, because, you know, I wanted extra cash for myself, so I worked there, and it was horrible. It was so horrible, because like when like the printers, most of the times we would get printer, and the cartridge from the printer, when it breaks apart, it makes like this colorful film on the table, and like you're inhaling it. And then I started to find out that when I get home, I'm getting like the stuff like from the back of my throat. Like, I feel like my hairway in my throat isn't clear. There are times that when I get home and I'm like brushing my teeth in my tongue, I'm having like this black thing coming out from my phlegm. I'm like, this is not right, because with time this might possibly cause some kind of TB or some kind of bronchitis. And plus, this job is not even insured. Like, you imagine having bronchitis over a job that's not insured? Like, you know, because most of these jobs, like most of this, you know, dangerous jobs, like sometimes you don't know what the health consequences are to when you're much older, or when you're much, you know, when you stay there for too long, you're you're more likely to, you know, have problems with your lungs. And I remember one of this new guy that worked with us, one of the newly hired guys, and I believe he was an immigrant as well. And I remember they say, "You guys, how do you walk here? This place is dangerous, so you can really get TB from here." Like, and the thing is that you sometimes get max. Actually, you do get max, but sometimes stuff just inhales. Like, you just inhale it. Somehow it inhales it. So it's just like, this place is not too good. I think I only worked there for about maybe a few months, or maybe 2-3 months, and then I had to quit because it was just like, no, this is too dangerous for your health. It was an HC job. You break down the TVs, you break down the iPad. It was an easy job. It's just like the health consequences, you never know until when you're much older, or when you stay there for too long. It just seemed like, you know, why do you have to endanger your health, you know? Because it just seemed like, you know, it's not the right place to work. And then I remembered, I think a few months after I applied, and then I got a McDonald's job, and I worked there for a little bit, and I really liked it. But I did not like doing drive-thru, because you get some nasty customers that are rude. Sometimes they throw food at you, and but I loved doing staying in front of the cashier and like just taking people's orders. Or sometimes you just have people just honking for no reason. Like, you know, like, okay, you just got to the window and you're honking. Like, wait for a few seconds. Like, you know, we're not machines. We're humans. Like, take your time. Like, you know, just take your time, slow down. And I really liked it because it was kind of flexible. The work had cut into my hours. I really liked that. And I did that throughout, and I did that throughout school. I used it to pay bills. I actually used it to also take care of myself personally, to pay for transportation and buy things I wanted to, and that really did help. And yeah, I really liked that job. It was not so bad. And you know, there's always that fancy thing, like I work at McDonald's, you know. Yeah, that's it. That's the end of my story time. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye now.